Okay, I wanted to explain a few things about some common practices that you guys are doing that might be a little bit difficult. And it's where you have to find the values where the expression is undefined. And so I already have a problem here that's factored, and I just wanted to show you how you get those values. So what we're concerned about is in each one of these parentheses, we are concerned about what x value can I plug into just this parentheses and make it 0, or just this parentheses and make it 0, or just this parentheses. And in fact, also this portion of it, what value of x can I plug into there to make just that 0? Because if any one of those parentheses or this 4x to the third is 0, that would make the whole denominator 0 because we're multiplying. And so and we can't divide by 0 because it's undefined. Okay, so we're going to take each one of these parentheses and figure out the value where it's undefined. So for the x minus 5, the x value that you would plug into here to make this 0 would be x equals 5. Right, so if I plug 5 in for x into this bottom part here, I will get 5 minus 5, which is 0, times, and then that will give me 9, and then that would give me 0 on bottom, and I would be dividing by 0. So what we say is x cannot equal 5. For this one, it's a little bit harder to figure out what x value will make that 0. So if you ever get to a situation where you don't know, what you can do is just set it equal to 0, and then solve this little equation here by adding 1 to both sides. And then you get 2x equals 1, and then divide both sides by 2. And so the x value that I would plug in to this parentheses and make it 0 would be 1/2. So again, in my list of stuff that is not defined, it would be x cannot be equal to 1/2. Alright, so we can erase that now. We don't need that anymore. The next one would be the 4x to the third. What x value can I plug into there so that just this is 0? And the answer is, if I plug 0 in for x, 0 cubed is 0, and then 0 times 4 is 0, so this would make this 0. And then if I plug 0 into the other parentheses, I would get 0 times -4, which again is just 0. So that would make this whole bottom denominator 0. We're going to add that to our list of values where it's not defined. And then the last one, again, it might be hard to know off the top of your head what x value to plug into there. So set it equal to 0. And then just add 4 to both sides. And then divide both sides by 3. And so you're going to get x equals 4/3. So again, that would be another value that x cannot be. So on the con practice, you're going to select each one of these as the value that makes the expression not defined. So on this one, you'd have 4 answers. And then just quickly before I end, I want to just make sure you know how to finish off the problem. I know I've done something like this before on other videos, but now once we have all the undefined values, we would start crossing out stuff that's the same. So like this 3x minus 4, that 3x minus 4. Again, one has to be on bottom and one has to be on top in order to cross them out. Okay, at this point we also have something else here. We have this 2 can be reduced to a 1, and that 4 can be reduced to a 2. Let's rewrite what we have so far. It's getting kind of confusing here. So we have x, this x on top, and then x plus 3, and then times, that times the x plus 5. So we're just going to put those two next to each other. And then what we have on bottom is this 2x cubed, and then that 2x minus 1 in parentheses. Now one more thing we can do is, I see this x on top, and this part has 3 x's, but we can cross out 1 on top and 1 on bottom. So cross that x out, cross one of those out, that would leave us with 2. And so my final answer would be x plus 3, x plus 5, all over 2x squared, and then 2x minus 1. And that would be my final answer for that problem, along with all of those undefined values. The con practice wants both. Wants all of these, and it wants you to write that down in the blank. Hope that helps.